Yeah,
And I was like, that's
huge.
the algorithm's in my favor.
In this video, you're gonna hear from a stylist that I worked one-on-one with in my program who was able to achieve over 6.8 million views and bring in an extra $15,000 in under 3 months with this strategy, turning her followers into dollars. Stay tuned. But I just want to say thank you, and I'm glad you reached out. When I saw that, I was really excited. You know what I mean? Because being exited from the program and doing so well still continuously is a big thing. And after I posted that into my stories yesterday, I had a huge response from everybody like, yes, we want to know how, we want to see the video, the interview. That's what I was like, and I think it would be good because I think too many people think it's too hard to do or too overwhelming when it's not. It's just understanding or just having the mindset of producing something, seeing how well it does, and producing things that they want to produce, not like, oh, is this what everybody's doing? This is what I have to do. Okay, so I'll go into, well, that will lead us, I guess, into question one, more or less explaining to everybody how easy it was to come up with the content creation strategy that worked for you, opposed to like, you know, me giving you content and saying, no, this is what's working now, you have to do this.
Well, I think just like after our meeting and you getting to know me and like figuring out like what I like specialize in, what I'm good at, you kind of helped me come up with ideas. Like, I think I was making it more complicated than it needed to be. And I was constantly overthinking it. So when you would throw out like random ideas, I'd be like, oh, that's like so simple. It's so simple. And so I think from there, coming up with content has become so much easier because I'm like, the worst that could happen is it doesn't reach people. Like, who cares? Because I can always try again. Like, it's okay to fail in a video, because with each video that I've posted, I've learned like what's working and what's not working. Not to say that like sometimes the algorithm is like not always in our favor or in our favor, but it has definitely taught me that like sometimes simplicity is best, and putting out content that like content that I would want to see, like what is going to grab my attention, what is going to make me want to continue to watch the video all the way through, what is the hook. So I think so when I make content now, I'm like thinking, okay, like what's the hook, what's going to get people to watch all the way through to the end.
And I call that now intention. Like, what is the intention of this piece of content? Because again, what I always like to teach everybody is you're making a piece of content, which is really an advertisement. What are you selling? You know, hairstylists, we're either selling a service we're doing, or we're selling ourselves / our personality to relate to clients that might want to book with us. So if you're creating something, always have an intent to either educate or entertain. The more you entertain you're doing, that's the better content, because it's an emotion and we all want to laugh. We all, not all of us want to be informed or educated, right? So the easiest thing is to, and you probably have seen this, that more of your humor or relatability, emotional type content gets way more reach than like, here's my formula and this is how I foil.
100%. I would say, so I'm about to hit my 4th million viewed video, and I'm under 5,000 followers.
I was going through and I was looking, sorry, go ahead.
So I would say 3 of the 4 videos are pure entertainment, and it's just like humor, like hairstylist humor, which when I'm thinking about like the audience that I'm wanting to reach, I mean, half of it like is obviously like still my clients, but then the other half is I'm really trying to reach to other stylists, because that's kind of the journey that I'm slowly kind of going on. My girlfriend and I were working on our own mentorship program, our own class. And so it's like, I have to prove that what I'm doing works. So just to kind of build the momentum some of the videos that I've been doing are like more humor, like hairstylist humor, which I'm like, if I think that's funny, I feel like other people would think it funny, and it's been working. So it's been great. And it's not like, in my experience, it's not like a video gets 1 million views in one night. Not saying that that can't happen, but I feel like if you're looking for
pretty triggering or something like,
yeah. And I feel like if you're looking for a genuine reaction, genuine audience, it takes time for the algorithm to kind of push that out, and it starts to flow and it gets more momentum and more momentum. And then I think like the last video that has almost hit 1 million views, I just posted at the beginning of June, and it's already almost at 1 million.
Yeah. Are you now, again, I guess for the audience that's watching, Instagram's #1 metric they're looking for is shares. So I didn't look at your shares, but I guarantee all your 1 million ones definitely have over 1,000 shares.
Oh yeah, anytime. So like when I go to look at my like notifications, it'll tell me like how many times something has been shared. There was one morning I flipped my phone on, and in one night while I was sleeping, video was shared over 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And I was like, that's
huge.
The algorithm's in my favor.
Yeah, and what's good, again, now knowing, using the strategy we came up with and you're utilizing, you can almost kind of pull that trigger whenever you want because you know it works. It's just like, for example, the video I just posted on my page yesterday, that was talking about clients canceling in the summer because the stylist I'm dealing with, I'm hearing that a lot right now. Like, I'm getting a lot of cancellations. I'm like, yeah, it's July. People care about themselves. They're going on vacation. And I was like, well, do you have a cancellation policy in place? And that's like my video had, it was, Will Ferrell saying he's living the best time of his life because, well, that's what he said, but it's because I used it in the context of, it said, when you're a hairstylist and 80% of your clients are canceling because it's summer, but you have a 72-hour cancellation notice and their credit card's on file. So it shows him like not working, making all the money. Yeah. So that did really well. I don't know how many shares I think I have like 200 shares, but I posted it yesterday. And prior to that, I wasn't even on the gram. I haven't been on the gram for like a month and change. So it still did well because it hit now. It hit on like a thing that's happening now, and people felt that emotion. And again, that's why I always tell everybody I work with, the easiest thing is to give someone some way to feel in any type of way you want, because they're going to share it. And that's how Instagram evaluates the metrics they're looking for is, okay, first you got someone to stop and watch your video. Then you got someone to say, wow, this video content was so good, I'm going to share it with someone. And then once that person opens it, what usually happens? Since you shared it with them, more likely they're going to reply to you. And then if you guys start having a conversation on Instagram, it's called what they're calling a loop now. Like, because Instagram only cares about the content creators who keep people on the platform. So if you keep people just engaging and staying on the platform in that way, they're going to keep pushing in more audience. And who's to say when someone shares your piece of content with someone else, that person doesn't share it with someone else. So like you, going back to what you said, it's not like, well, one, you did have a hit overnight, but it will slowly pick up. I actually had one of the hairstylists I worked with, it did well. It did like 8,000 the first like 2 days. Then it went to like 100,000. Then it went to like 2, and then from 2 it went to like 1.3 million views. But it all happened in like a month and a half, because the shares, it kind of has to catch up to like those people opening the content that was shared, them having conversation, and the reaction and all that. So yes, going back to, again, I guess the question being how much easier it was just to create a content strategy that makes it simple. And the mindset behind it is, the simpler you can create it and not having an emotion behind it. Because again, we're talking about these million views, but you have videos that don't do so well, but you can't have an emotion. You have to go, okay, sometimes why. You just want to post a video because you want to keep up the algorithm. You post it. Yes. Because you got to have an idea when you make something like, oh, this is going to be a banger now, right? Right. But even if it flops, who cares? It's just content. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Unless it was like, oh, you have something to sell with that piece of content, and it like makes or breaks your business. And I think that's, again, another thing where hairstylists get too caught up and or overwhelmed with, wow, this piece of content just has to do well.
Right.
It doesn't. If you're making content you enjoy making, if it doesn't well or doesn't do well, hopefully you are creating content you like to do and you enjoy making that piece of content anyways.
Oh, 100%. 100%. In fact, one of the videos, my first million viewed video, it took like 6 months for it to hit 1 million.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think it was like almost 6 months because it was really slow. But then after that, after I finally got my first million viewed video, things started picking up and things started, the algorithms just start it starts working for you. And I'm like, gosh, this is like what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what's the next question, but I can get into that. Okay. So going to what you just said, because that's not related to the next question. Perfect. Exactly what I say. Like, and it's a trust. People don't realize Instagram is Meta. Meta is Facebook. They only care about finding content creators that can keep people on the app because they sell and run ads. They have to trust you. It's like the credit card system, right? Or the credit system. They have to trust you as a creator to keep people on the platform so they can tell someone like myself, like a business, right? If I say, Meta, I have $1,000, I want to run ads. Find me a creator that fits this niche for the product I'm selling. And then, for example, we got Megan. You know, she does great views. We'll put the content behind her. But if you're not consistent and you're not getting views and you're not getting that longer watch time, they can't trust you with that the money they're being paid. So they can't run ads. They can't trust that they can run ads behind you that are successful. Because yes, I can pay Meta and things don't do well. But if I pay Meta for so long and things aren't doing well, I'll just stop paying them. So it is their job to find creators that keep people on the platform. And that's the mindset. And that's why I say 2 things. And this goes across all boards. It's not just hairstylists. This is from the people, that I pay to learn from. They're just saying the content that does well are either educational or entertaining. That's it. That's all you have to focus on. Yeah. Educational 100%. Or entertaining. Teach someone something and then give extra value and then tell them to read the caption. Don't just 3 hacks, read the caption. Because you could do that, but that's over time it's gonna mess it up because it's gonna train me as an audience to you that, you're just, I don't even have to watch your video, I'll just read the caption. But if you're posting a video to the platform, that video, they're only ranking you based off the watch time of the video. Now you got no watch time. And it ruins it. So again, going back to that, let's get into question 2 because I'm gonna try to make this video like 15 minutes. All value. Prior to working together, what was your content process, or was there a process or strategy at all?
No, I was just kind of pulling it out of nowhere. I was just trying to figure it out on my own. I didn't have a strategy because I just didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. When you came on, obviously my job is to look at your content, where it's at now, and where I can see the improvement. And you weren't doing bad. What was good is that you were creating content. You weren't overthinking. But I think you were, in my opinion, you were trying to make it too pretty, too appealing to the type, and you weren't being you. And I think that's when you started blowing up. And I feel like you got happier when you started making content that you truly wanted to make with really what your personality was. And you kind of found yourself. And you're like, this is okay to do.
And that's the thing too, I think with social media is it's easy to want to kind of conform to what you think people want from you, but all people want is for you to be your genuine self. Yeah. Just be you, be authentic, because that is what is appealing. That is what is attractive to your audience, and the right audience will find you.
Yeah. Do you find yourself booking more clients, not to say just off Instagram, but the fact that they got to know you a little bit before they booked you and liked you for you before booking you?
Oh yeah. I've had, especially in the last month, I've had a few new people in my chair, and I'll ask them, well, how'd you find me? And they're like, I've been watching on Instagram for a year. You're so funny.
I love it.
Or they'll talk about, Like, I just love the services that you offer. I love how bold you are with your faith. I love this about you or that about you. And it's all like stuff that is very much just me.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, well, it's working.
Yeah,
It's bringing the right, it's bringing my ideal clientele into the door.
And that's what I was going to get into. It's the easiest way to attract the people you probably want to work on, because currently working with a hairstylist, and she is very worried about, in which I call it, walking on eggshells. She's worried about the type of clients that she gets and that is in her salon, where she's not like that at all. So like if she was truly herself, she's worried about like if she is herself, would she turn them off? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I said, well, you don't have to go 100% raw of yourself. You can like slowly introduce your personality through like shared content. Like it's not you saying how you feel or your position on something or, sexual humor or something like that. You can just share something, but people know when you share it, you probably relate to that. And that might work better, right? So again, going back to putting yourself out there, just being authentically you, it gives another reason for people to purchase your product, right? And your product, being a hairdresser, is your services. Because again, at the end of the day, if ever, and this is really kind of where the industry is getting, it's either you're probably doing average or above average work and everybody's at the same type of pricing, booked at the same thing, or you're just not there. So what I always say is, what are you going to compete with? If everybody's doing the same results at the same price, there's really no reason like to choose you or me, but we're both doing full head of highlights at $400, right? So why do they choose us? They're choosing us for us. So the more you could put yourself out there more often, they're like, oh, I don't know. I don't think I want to sit in Dan's shop and listen to fucking gangster rap. I like Meg's vibe. Right. Meg's, you know what I mean? But people are not saying gangster rap bumping, but like there might be people like, I like that energy. I'm gonna go dance. So and that is the easiest, in my opinion. After it's pointless to talk about people who are not doing good hair. It's just not gonna work out. But if we're both doing the same level work, basically at the same price, located in the same area, the easiest thing to do is say, pick me for me. And those are the most loyal clients. They come in, you have a good conversation, you probably come like not say client, but like, friend clients. Yeah. And it's a stickier, 100%. Better, what are they called? Referral. All right.
Yes.
Question 3. How long did it take you to start turning your followers into dollars, meaning the content strategy was working? I guess, again, we just kind of went into that, how your content, people were picking up on it, and you saw yourself booking more often and having the new inquiries, the new possible clients saying, oh, I found you through Instagram.
Honestly, it was just like a couple months into our mentorship.
Yeah, so quick.
Because we started that last April?
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. So I mean, by like June, I was getting a whole new influx of clients because of the content that I was putting out, and just the new services that I was offering too. It really grabbed people.
I haven't even. How is that? I'm not gonna put it out there because I think
don't say it.
Two other stylists that I gave them that sauce. How is that going? It's still like people are like, wow.
Oh my gosh, so what I spent on the mentorship, I have already made back probably 5 times over.
Oh, that's great. So if anybody's watching, can I say, she spent $3,000 on the mentorship and she's probably made $15,000. Is that what we're saying?
Oh yeah, easily.
Easily? Okay,
easily.
Thanks. Thank you for saying
that. From the sauce.
That was not in
From
here.
The sauce.
that was a little plug right there. But no, that is ultimately what, like, I guess this is going to segue into my last question, but why I do the one-on-one coaching. It's because it's 100% custom to you. It is, your pricing, your personality, the content you want to do, and you get to maximize that. And again, like now look at you. Now you're in a position, you just said that you're looking to do your own mentorship, which is great. Like I want to basically work with some, depending where they're at. And you might say you start I'm rambling now, but say you start your mentorship and you're like, I know Dan can do this because he's successful. You might hire me at your next struggle. Like your first struggle was figuring out, money in social media.
Yeah.
And we answered that. So that problem is no longer a problem, but now you're evolving, go to the next thing. And then I don't know, but you might say, hey Dan, how to get more offers? How would I, bring people into it? And then you could hire me again. And then, that's 15, depending on what your offer would be, will turn into 30. You know what I mean? So, the relation between knowing a strategy and making it 100% custom to you, it allows people to never need me again. And that, I guess that's what I was saying. Like, my goal is not to string you along and, here's another course and here's something else. And here's what's currently working. And that's the biggest thing with the content strategy is like a lot of these people or coaches have like a program. How often do you update that program? That if it's social media, probably 2 months ago, that is old information.
Oh yeah, it's constantly changing.
And I know how much it costs to redo a whole program. So if someone has been out for a year and it's like, just go through course 1 through 15, and then what I see, join our group calls of 300 people, and I'll just talk to everybody, but answer no questions.
Yeah.
Crazy. And again, I don't want that. I want to have someone pay me and get at minimum 3x return. So they, again, pay me 3, they run in 9. Ideally, that's my goal. Or just
and not just that either. Not just like the money that I gain. I feel like just like being more confident too. Mm-hmm. Anytime I'm like, oh, should I post this or not? I kind of like think of you because I'm like, you would say like, who gives a shit? Just do it.
Yeah, if it's truly what you believe,
just do it. Like it's who you are, so just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to be really like kind of nervous about showing my face on social media. I'm like, how are people supposed to know who I am if I don't show up? How are they supposed to know who I am if I don't show them exactly who I am?
Yeah, and I always say, show the more nitty gritty, unfiltered version of yourself, because that's what people relate. Like if you're always being successful and pretty and perfect.
Yeah.
We know it's fake, but like I want to hear how you got out of your car and you busted your ass. Like I want to hear like how you didn't do a test strip on someone's hair and you found out it wasn't virgin, you booked an appointment. Like I want to hear that struggle because I want to relate to someone I'm looking up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, she's real too.
Mm-hmm.
Last question was, and again, I don't know. I don't think I've ever asked. Did you find it beneficial doing a one-on-one to get your concerns, your struggles addressed directly compared to, an online course that is just a click-through program with vague or dated information? I don't know if you've ever paid for a program or gotten to something that was that much of a difference between the one-on-one custom or like a program.
I've done both. Mm-hmm. And I've done online programs that have been extremely helpful. Granted, not all online programs are like the same. But I think it's definitely more beneficial having like a mentor that you can go to and ask questions and be like, okay, like giving me homework, like this is your homework for the week, figure this out, figure out what's working, what's not working. And then when we meet again, we'll talk about that and how to set you up better for the next week. And then just kind of keep going from there. So it's definitely like obviously way more customizable for the student because every student is in a different spot and everyone's wanting to work on something a little differently. Yep. So yeah, I think mentorship is definitely the way to go
and
for anybody.
And that is why I do it, because again, everybody again, an online course, like I could build out a full online course because I would say 70% of what I say is redundant, right? But that will only get you so far. And what I've learned, it's so far to frustration because it's not, again, you'll get to a strategy that like is just a strategy, but it's not how that person feels, or they're not comfortable with that yet. They haven't learned it, or they're not confident yet. They know they have to go up in pricing, but they're not confident how to portray that message to the clients, you know what I mean? And then be okay with knowing that you message 100 clients that your prices are going up $50, that that 20 of them are okay with falling off because that money makes it up. So
Right.
yeah, that's, and again, yes, everybody's numbers are different, everybody's emotional is different, everybody's state of mind. Like, there was a hairstylist I was working with recently that was extremely lazy towards her career, kinda, but I made it click when I realized she actually is not lazy. She doesn't, because she's, okay, I guess, she goes to the gym a lot. She loves working out. She's done NPC, like, bikini competitions. So it's all the same thing. Like, she has to wake up in the morning an hour and a half early to get on the treadmill to make sure she gets her diet in. And then during the day, she has to know what food she's eating and make sure she's taking her supplements. So it's the same thing with hair. And it's like, you want to build your career. You have to know your numbers. You have to know the services you're doing, what the profit margin is. Creating content, plan the content, find a video that you can use as a blueprint. Figure out the client that's going to come in that you could do that video on, and then post it. So it's all related to like your own disciplines, and I guess goes back to human nature of like, once your ego's rewarded with the work you've put in, you're like, I want to do that again. It's dopamine, I guess you'd say. It's dopamine. Like, when you hit that first million, you were probably like, I mean, even not even a million, honestly, because I think when we started working together, you were averaging, we'll say like 2,000 views, 3 and then 15, somewhere lower, whatever. But I'm sure once you got like 100,000 views on a video, it was like, it can happen. And you were like excited, like, okay. And then you got another one and another one. So it's just like, again, someone who works out, you got to work out a really long time and do the work outside of the gym. Just like when you go to the salon, it doesn't stop there. You know, what they say, abs are made in the kitchen. So same thing. You have to put in that work outside of it. And this is your career. That's money. The gym, in my opinion, to her was just to stand on stage and get a fake award. You know, you're healthy, most, but you're just in better shape. But if you put that same level of energy into your career, fucking game over. And that's really, really when I made it click for her. She messaged me after the call, actually. She's like, I just want to let you know, like, that was a smack in the face. Like, you were honest, and I needed that honesty. But, you know, because I used to work out, I've done like NPC shows, so I know what it takes. And for her to tell me.
Did you just say you used to do NPC shows?
And yeah, I did like Men's Physique.
No way.
Yeah,
we need
one
pictures.
Show.
You need to prove
I have one picture. I have like one picture. And it was actually the first year NPC even released Men's Physique. So all I had to do was diet down, because I was averaging like, I was like 240, pretty big. So I was on stage at like 182, shredded.
Dang.
Yeah. But again,
that's wild.
I almost have to learn you guys and figure what, you know, pulls your strings and like connect to them. And no program is ever going to do that. It's you showing up and getting on a laptop and going through modules. And I just don't know any program that ever paid for. I think I've only paid for one. I go, yeah, I'm never doing this again. I know, because, you know, I do a lot of homework before I hire someone. So I usually do a lot of homework on the person. I usually got a lot of free information, put the free game into play to see how it works. I'm like, all right, so like you made me 10, 15, 20 grand off free stuff. You know, I want to give it back, and what can you give me for paid?
Right.
And I know that's actually, I don't know how much time we're going now, but that's what I'm about to do with my content. And like, I'm going to create a free community for people, you know, have like meetings. I'll have my paid community. And I know you were in my first rollout. So that was 6 months. I quickly found out people can't even get to 6 months, nor do they even want something that's 6 months. Because I was really getting the majority of people who listened to me, to where they wanted to be in 3 months. So like the 3 months after that was written, like, hey, what's up? Oh, things are still great. Like, okay.
Yeah, I definitely think by like the end, it was like,
Yeah. But again, running out of time. So yeah, more or less thank you for the call. We are running out of time. And I hope this helps a lot of, people who are going to be viewing it to understand, to relax, put in the work. And if you need help, reach out to me, reach out to Meg. We're both here.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it, and keep in touch. I might have you come on to one of my communities once I get it going, and you can give your spiel and promote your program.
That's awesome. That'd be
and
great.
I'll put you. I'll share your profile in the beginning of this, and I'll put you in the link because this will be on YouTube, so everybody can find you and blah blah blah. Because people might not want to be coached by me. You might be a little bit softer or different.
That'd be amazing.
Okay. Thank you again.